Hi, everybody, and welcome back to La Capricornia with me, Priscilla Moreno. As always, make sure you stay until the end for your full guided message. Okay, you guys, so today I want to talk about being vulnerable and being okay with saying, yes, I'm still healing. Because here's the thing, you guys, I feel like we're always healing, and it doesn't matter like what stage of your life or if you have been working on something for X amount of time. I don't feel like we ever truly heal, and I really do feel like the universe is always throwing different things. We go through different situations that might have to do with that lesson. So we're always developing it, we're always healing, and we have to be okay with admitting that. And the reason why this kind of got brought up is I had a friend of mine who is very strong. She is very strong. She's an awesome independent person, and she's just overall amazing, you guys. And unfortunately, she had something to happen to her where she felt she couldn't speak on it. Number one, because she's like, I had healed this part of myself, and I was like, there's no way that this could be happening again, right? The red flags that she saw before were not there, but they presented themselves in other ways in this situation. And then on top of that, because she does do some things in public, she also felt that she was being put like on this pedestal of like, she's strong, she's independent, nothing bad can happen to her kind of persona. And she felt embarrassed to even like talk about it or to deal with it, because she's like, oh, because this is how everybody sees me, if they hear that this is happening, they're gonna say all this stuff about me. And unfortunately, when this kind of came out, because unfortunately it was a little public, she got that backlash, and it really was like, I felt really bad, because when I talked to her, she's like, it was exactly what I feared. People were actually saying that to her, like, oh, you talk so much on this and you're not that person, you're fake, saying all kinds of mean things to her instead of being like, it's okay, And the crazy part about this, and it's something that like I even told her, was these people are probably in worse situations, and they were hearing you out because they were trying to fix that certain part of themselves, and yet here they are judging you, like, do not feel bad about it. Like, you can only control what happens to you cannot control what anybody else thinks. And at the end of the day, you're a human being. You should not be letting like all these factors affect you. um we're all human, you guys. We're not perfect. We're not born perfect either, because we all have to learn all these lessons, all these things on our own. And, again, after she thought about it, she's like, yes, I wasn't being vulnerable. I was just trying to stay in my, like, in her strength, in which she felt she was. And she basically, like, blinded herself to the situation that she was in, because she was, again, she wanted to be that strong person, independent, show that, she has everything put together. And, not perfect, but she had everything put together. And because she was being affected by, like, oh, I'm helping this person and I didn't want to seem weak to this person, like, she just let it all get to her. And I think that's really hard, and I can definitely relate to it, to like certain, like, to a certain level, to all that. Because again, we're all healing. Like, even myself, like, I the other day, I kind of realized to myself, and I was like, no, like, you need to stop doing this. So I put boundaries. You guys know I'm very big on boundaries. So I put a certain boundary, and I am always very like, like, don't cross this line, this is my line. But I had it in my head of like, I don't want to seem like that crazy person, or like, the stubborn person, or you know what I mean, like, especially because sometimes I know some people think I come off strong, especially when I stick to my boundaries, right? So I was not that I completely let that boundary go, but I was letting it get crossed. Like, it was starting to like cross that boundary. And then, I wasn't comfortable with it, because then I was like, I was getting upset. It was annoying me. But at the same time, I was trying to like not seem like that person. And then I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, this is bothering me, and it's going to keep bothering me if it keeps getting crossed. And what's going to happen is I am going to blow up, and then I really am going to be that crazy person, because, I might freak out over the littlest thing, but it had been something that was building up over time. And then, of course, like the straw that broke the camel's back is just going to be like this whole crazy side of me, which again, I don't want that out there. And I had to realize, like, okay, stop, like, you know what I mean? Who cares if you seem like that mean whatever person? At the end of the day, if somebody doesn't respect your boundaries, like, that's them, and you only have to take care of yourself. And I get that sometimes boundaries or certain things might not make sense to other people, and we have to be okay with that. Like, okay, it might not make sense to you, but out of respect, this is it makes sense to me, and this is what I want. And if that person can either learn to be respectful towards it the same way that I have to learn to be respectful towards other boundaries, or they could just not deal with me, right? Same thing. Like, somebody thinks that I'm breaking a boundary, or they don't feel comfortable with me for whatever reason, and I'm not respecting them after they've told me something. Yeah, you guys don't have to talk to me, like, same thing. Like, it doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you, like, when you guys do the same thing to others, because at the end of the day, it's what you feel. And so, yeah, you guys, I just think, like, that's the biggest thing. I think we need to stop, holding ourselves to this perfection on this pedestal, and be vulnerable, be a little bit more open. If you need the help, ask for the help. There's plenty of people out there, I'm pretty sure, that, like, are willing to help and willing to listen depending on what you need. And I know it might seem a little scary, and you might be thinking, oh, they might think this about me, but sometimes I feel like we have to talk about certain things to realize, like, it's not okay. Because I know sometimes I'll be, again, holding certain things within myself, and then once I speak to it to someone, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem right, And then that's when I'm like, okay, this definitely has to get back. I have to go back to, like, what I was doing, or I have to, like, stick to this boundary or whatever. And yeah, you guys. But okay, that's the message for this week. I'm gonna read the cards for you guys, and I'll let you guys know what that's like right now. So your first card is the Lovers, which is funny because I actually kind of did, like, a pre-reading to this week, and this card came out in it too. So the Lovers, I do feel like this is actually a good card. I feel like it's telling you that you've been through, like, a certain situation. Something might be coming through to you, and you guys know I don't really like love readings and things like that, because I do tend to try to stay more focused on, like, ourselves. But I do feel like someone is coming in for you. I don't know if it's like a love interest or a friend or something like that, but it definitely feels like it's something that you might be fearing a little bit, but I don't feel like it's a past situation. I feel like it's something new, because, and I know the Lovers card is, like, it could be like anything, but I also kind of feel like it's saying, like, you know what I mean, like, it's new. It's not something that's, like, it's you've dealt with before. It doesn't feel like stagnant energy. It just feels different. Okay, the next card is Strength. So again, even with this card, I am feeling like you've learned your lesson. Like, maybe there's a situation that happened in the past that you've always kind of, I guess, look for red flags, but this is telling you, like, you have the strength, you've been through these things, you're stronger than what you think you are. And I think this might have to do with this. I do feel almost even too, like, when it comes to, like, a trust issue, I do feel like this is telling you, like, you've been through it, you know what you're looking for, you know how to read certain things. Like, you have to trust yourself. You're never gonna know when you're ready, unless you don't try. Like, and you're never gonna, be, I guess, in the right situation if you don't keep, doing these things and trying. And part of it is having that strength of knowing, like, I'm confident, I have that intuition, I know what I'm feeling. Of course, if you're seeing any red flags, then of course, trusting yourself, you have that strength in yourself for it. But if you're not seeing, the things that you usually would see, And again, like I said, this feels new. It feels like something good is coming in for you. You have the strength to like get past that. And you have the Six of Wands, which actually you've been getting the Six of Wands a lot lately. So the Six of Wands, I do feel like it's a victory. So I don't know, you guys. I really do feel like with these cards, it's like it's saying that there was something maybe you went through in the past. You've learned your lessons. Like you got that victory out of it. You got the strength out of it. And I guess it's like it's a way of letting you know like you're ready. You know what I mean? Or at least to try it. You know, you're never gonna know if you don't try, like I said. And it feels like it's something really good that's coming in for you. You have to be able to let go of certain like past situations, which I get, you guys, because again, we all have that fear, right? What if something happens again? And we have to let go of that fear. We're never going to be able to trust everyone 100%. We're never going to be able to pinpoint how someone is, from just looking at them. Sometimes you have to just, like I said, kind of go with the flow and decide from there. Okay. And your first guided card is the Miracle of Forgiveness. So, the Miracle of Forgiveness, this is telling you to forgive yourself. So, I almost do feel, even with like the Six of Wands, is that you did have a victory and you went through so much stuff, and maybe you still hold on to some things from it. So, I think it's telling you like you got to forgive. Don't forget, but you have to forgive, not just yourself, but the whole situation, everything. And you have to move forward with it. Like I said, I do feel like this is like a new situation. It could even be with work or something new that you're getting into, that maybe you had some fear of in the past, or you were just worried about the decisions you've made because you've seen things go in a certain way in the past. And it's telling you like, hey, like, stop being so hard on yourself. Like, you are pretty strong enough to know what's right and what's wrong. Like, forgive yourself. Let yourself make those mistakes. Not saying that it's a mistake, but if it is a mistake, let yourself make those mistakes. It's okay. And your second guided card is the Dog, which is loyalty and determination, which is funny because I am talking about trust. So, like, the loyalty part, like, really stands out to me. And on top of that, like, nobody get offended by this, but like I said, the Lovers card, right? Like I said, something felt like it was coming towards you. So I just loved like how there's this dog with this rose in its mouth. So I definitely do feel like something good might be coming your way, something that's very positive. I do feel like a lot of love and happiness like coming with this message. And if it has to do anything with loyalty, I definitely feel like you need to be open to this, and you never know, maybe this is it for you guys. But I am getting something like very, very nice here. I actually really love this message, and I really hope it resonates with you guys. Okay, you guys, so I hope you guys really like this message. Sorry. So have a great week. Don't forget to follow me on my other social media, and have a great week.